and welcome back to the Introvert Circus. I am so excited to take you on a very fun vlog adventure today to Lost Lake. If you have not already liked and subscribed, please do that. I have all kinds of fun training, content coming up, tutorials, all that good stuff. But for today's video, this is a video I've been so excited to make. Last weekend was basically one of my favorite days in my entire life, and I'm pretty sure one of Sirius's favorite days. We took her on a very fun adventure. Obviously started with a puppuccino first thing. We left our house at like 6 a.m. and we started driving out of Portland. You can see the sun. It was just so beautiful here. That's the Columbia River. And we drove to the mountains. So we decided we were going to go somewhere new for an adventure that we'd never been before. And we went to Lost Lake in Oregon, and we weren't sure all the things we were going to do, but we decided right away when we got there. Right when they opened, we went down to the dock, met this fabulous Sasquatch, and we decided that we would rent a boat. Sirius has never been on a boat before, so we weren't sure what it would be like. The folks were really nice. They let us help her get to experience the boat on the dock first before we rented it, and then when we had gotten her in and felt like it was doable, we went in and rented a boat for the day. So this was a rowboat. I have been on boats with my dogs in the past. My two senior pups had both been on boats in Cape Cod when we lived on the East Coast, and so that was something they had done before. But Sirius had come along after our boating adventures, and then we moved from New York, and so she had never done a boat before. And while there are Newfs that kayak, I know some Newfs that kayak, that's something that definitely, I'm not a good enough kayaker for that, and it's something I would want to have exposed her to when she was much younger and smaller, but a rowboat was the perfect option. So we got this rowboat for the day, and Sirius was such a good girl. I was so impressed with how she did. She was just, and that was the view. So the views up there were absolutely stunning. From the middle of Lost Lake, you just have this like postcard perfect view of Mount Hood. And we got to explore all day in the boat. Sirius was so good. She was so curious about what it was like. The great thing about the rowboat, it was really steady. So there's plenty of room for her to sit there, to chill, to turn around, to look around, and sort of take in all of the sights and sounds and smells of the experience. It was so much fun. Oh, her bark also echoed through the mountains where we were, which was really fun. And in the morning, we got there right when they opened. We were one of the first boats out on the water. Later in the day, it got much more crowded. But first thing, it was like we were in our own private paradise. So we kind of tootled around the lake a bit. Sirius got to take in all of the gorgeous, gorgeous views. And we were looking for a spot that we wanted to stop and swim for a little while to get her into the water, obviously, because swimming is one of her favorite activities, and was definitely one of the reasons we wanted to go to Lost Lake. It was somewhere we'd never been before. It's super dog friendly. Obviously, if you are taking your dog on any kind of adventure, check and make sure that the places that you are going are dog friendly. Many, many places are, but unfortunately, often because of people not being responsible with their dogs, places sometimes don't allow dogs, and that's a real bummer. But the Lost Lake Resort and Campground was so dog friendly. All of their boats, except for their glass bottom boats or clear bottom boats, you can have dogs in, no additional fees, which was amazing. And it was such a great time to be able to get out on the water with her. So we went looking for a good spot. We were looking for a place that had like we could park the boat and then also get into the water. And we found that. So then we all started swimming. The amazing thing, also beyond everything about this was amazing, but it was like being in our own magical, like beautiful place. The water was so clear. I pull out my water camera a little bit later on. I've been having a lot of issues with my water camera. My old one broke. I got a new one. I was having issues with the new one, but it actually worked today, which was really exciting. It made me wish I had taken even more underwater footage, but you will get to see some underwater footage. One of my favorite things. It's so funny, but I just love seeing underwater swimming video of my girl. I think it's so much fun. And this was just such a magical day. I highly, highly encourage you guys to get out and enjoy the summer if you can with your dogs. I think it's so much fun to find the right kinds of outings that are going to be good for you, good for your pups. Getting out into nature in whatever way is accessible and fun for you. This was just like, I can't get over how beautiful this is. I still want to print out a bunch of pictures from this because it just looks like a postcard. And the water was so clear and so beautiful. And there is underwater video coming soon. But you can see here, that's our little boat that we had. We parked in this little spot. It was very aesthetic little rowboat and the perfect size for our whole little family to go adventuring on the lake. We had originally thought we were just going to rent a boat for a couple of hours, but it turned out that if you rented it for 3 hours, it was the same price once you had it for 3 hours to just keep it for the full day. So we decided we would have it all day and just use it kind of as our floating base throughout the day, go to different spots to swim, explore the lake because we had never been there before. And we had packed lunch and snacks and water and all that good stuff, treats for her, water for her. You can see how clear the water is here. And this was a little bench area right near where our first place that we parked. Sirius was very interested in the trees. She was shaking off up there. She was looking for a good place to potty. She's so funny. She has to find like the exact right spot. She's definitely one of those dogs. And then she kind of got zoomies. She was like toddler tired at this point, but was like, OMG, the water. And here she knew that her bumper was in the boat, and she was very curious about
I know, it was buoy in the
getting
boat.
it. She did eventually jump in and get her bumper. She had been taking a break. And it was just so beautiful. The water was such a great temperature. We had a ton of fun splashing around all day. Thankfully, the heat wave here on this part of Oregon at least is over, and it's just been really nice summer weather, warmer than normal, but not like the ridiculous heat wave that we had. This was also before we had, we don't have smoke where we are, but I know that up in the Cascade Mountains, there is smoke right now from some of the wildfires. We clearly picked a beautiful weekend to go because the smoke was not there yet. Here is some of that underwater footage. You can just see how incredibly clear this lake is. It was so magical, so wonderful. I absolutely want to go back again, probably next summer. We'll rent a boat again. It was just great. Like, I don't know why, we all have those funny things that like we really enjoy doing with our dogs. And for me, I just find it so fun and silly to be able to like rent a boat and get on a boat with my dogs. I think it's great. My first time doing it was with my little Chihuahua mix Mercury. It was one of those, like, I don't really have bucket lists for my dogs, but if I did, it would have been on it. Look at her swim. Look at her little feet. So you can see her little feet paddle. So cute. So cute. Anyway, the first time he got on a boat was we rented a paddle boat in Prospect Park, Brooklyn. It was like just a few blocks from where we lived at the time, our apartment. And that was his first boat ride. And he was such a fan. So then the next summer when we went up to Provincetown in Cape Cod, we brought him and Charlotte. Those are both my two senior dogs that passed in the last couple of years. They went on a boat that transported us out to a different part of Cape Cod. Then we're like near a lighthouse and we hiked around there all day, and then they took the boat back with us. And then Mercury also went on a sunset sailboat one time. So I just find it silly and fun and just one of those things that will always stand out in my mind as like favorite, just silly things I've done with my dogs. And so with that, this day was definitely part of that for me. So Sirius was just hanging out up there while we were, I think we were about to have lunch, and she was watching, sunscreening, figuring out what we were doing. I think she liked being able to watch what was going on up there, see all of the things we were up to, and then jumping down over these roots back to the water. She was super tired at this point. She definitely needed a nap and had to be convinced that she could take a nap. That's something that we still work on, is that she gets super excited and can sometimes struggle with actually taking a rest. But she took a big snooze here and got lots of snores. There's her little water dish. And so once she woke up from her nap, we got back on the boat and headed back out onto the lake to do some more exploring. By this point, she was getting pretty confident with what it was like to be on a boat. I think she was really enjoying herself. At this point, we went looking to rode to the south end of the lake to try to see what it was like over there, see how we liked that side of the lake. Spoiler, we liked the north side of the lake better than the south side of the lake. So probably next year we will spend more time on the side that we started on. The bottom was rocky as opposed to being kind of mucky, and so it made it easier to swim and sort of dock the boat and anchor the boat and that kind of thing. And the water was just a little bit cleaner too, which was nice on that side. Definitely something I love is just any opportunity to give my dogs the most fun, most enriched life that I can possibly imagine for them. And so this is just one of those things, is I love to be able to take the dogs on adventures, to explore new places, try new things that we might not ordinarily do, even though, you know, I think that my dog lives a super enriched, very engaged life with all of the activities we do and tricks and sports and things that we train in. But it's fun to just get out and play and do different things in new places. And it's something I absolutely love living in the Pacific Northwest, is the proximity to gorgeous places like this and how accessible it is to be able to get to them with Sirius, and how dog friendly they are is something I will never get over after living on the East Coast, where it was much, much harder to find places, especially beautiful places that were dog friendly near New York, if we wanted to get out into nature with the dogs. And here it is just so much more possible and accessible, and that makes me really, really happy. And I really am grateful for all of the things that we get to explore with Sirius and all the adventures that she gets to have here. So we kept on going around the lake looking for spots. I took my attempt at rowing here. I did some of the rowing for a while, and that was fun. Sirius by this point had been having an amazing time and got a little tuckered out, so she took a nap in the rowboat, which I just thought was absolutely precious. She was snoring while we were cruising around, and after her nap, we actually found another spot on the south side of the lake that we wanted to test out and see what it was like. So we anchored the boat and got here. You can actually see how it's a little bit muckier. Sirius did not mind in the slightest. She was very happy to get some more swimming in. So we did some swimming over here, and then we did a little bit of water parkour. My partner was like, "You must be so proud." And I was like, "Her or me?" And Kestrel was like, "Both of you." And that was true. I was so proud of her, and she was very proud of herself for that little bit of water parkour there with that tricky footing on that log. And then we did some swimming here before we got back in the boat and started to tootle our way back very slowly towards the rental return. Sirius took another nap in the boat. And so we were making our way back all the way across the lake, which was a couple-hour process. All in all, we were gone for 12 hours that day. It was a very long day of adventuring, and it was incredible. And we had the boat for, I think, about 7 hours, 8 hours, something like that. It was absolutely one of my all-time favorite days. We had so much fun. I hope you enjoyed getting to come along with us on this adventure. I hope you and your dogs are also having an amazing summer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in another video very, very soon. Have fun with your dogs. Bye-bye.